Ever wonder how Christmas traditions and stories came to be? Well, the true history of Christmas might surprise you. The word Christmas comes from the combination of the words Mass and Christ, according to the Encyclopedia Britannica. The English word Christ comes from the Greek word Christos, which in turn comes from a Hebrew word meaning Messiah. In Judaism, the name for the Messiah is the king that would deliver their people. Church officials started celebrating Jesus' birth in the 4th century, and Pope Julius I is who chose the date of December 25th. As a result of Christmas, many cultures over the centuries came up with scary and terrifying tales to ensure kids are at their best throughout the year. Here are a few examples. Mainly found in European countries, you have Krampus. Krampus is a half-human, half-goat character who comes around every year and punishes naughty kids. Krampus drags chains behind him as he walks. He carries a birch to whip bad children and sometimes a basket or sack for kidnapping them. In Austria and Bavaria, you have Frau Perchta. Frau Perchta is a German winter spirit who comes to see who has been naughty or nice. What she does to children is so bad, we cannot talk about it because we do not want to get in trouble with YouTube. We hope you are enjoying this video so far. If so, please subscribe. This will really help us out. Next, you have a visit from Lwyd. Lwyd is a mythological creature out of Wales. This tradition dates back to the 1800s and involves a horse's skull. The horse's skull is mounted on a pole and wrapped in sackcloth, which is then paraded around the village. Every year, the Lwyd would be taken from house to house asking for entry through the singing of a song. If entry is allowed, this would be a sign you would have a good new year. This tradition is more of a pagan tradition as Christian. In Iceland, you have Gryla and Gryla, a giant troll whom lives in a cave in the Dimmu lava fields. She emerged on Christmas Eve to stalk the village for bad individuals, and when they are found, she would then cook them in her pot of stew. Gryla's history goes way back. The story even has Gryla as being married. Her first husband was Bolli. They were reported as having a lot of children. Bolli was also a cannibal along with Gryla. Bolli then died of old age, and after his death, Gryla found and married Lwyd. Gryla and Lwyd also own the Christmas cat, a terrible big cat that prowls around Christmas night and eats people who don't receive clothes as Christmas gifts. Next in France, you have Hans Trapp. Possible loosely based on real events, Hans Trapp is known as the Christmas Scarecrow in certain French regions. Hans Trapp lived in the 1400s and was a rich, powerful, and merciless man who was feared by people. He let his thirst for power dominate him so much that he made deals with the devil so he could advance in his power and status. Upon hearing this, the Pope himself excommunicated Trapp, after which he was banished and his wealth and lands confiscated. Trapp was reduced to constructing a makeshift home in the mountains of Bavaria. He finally became a cannibal, and it was at that point the Christmas Scarecrow was born. Trapp would often wait by the roads for a victim to come walking by. Today, naughty children are warned that the spirit of Hans Trapp can inhabit scarecrows and may visit them in disguise. Next, you have creatures called the Kallikantzaroi. The Kallikantzaroi are found in the countries of Greece, Bulgaria, Serbia, and Turkey. The Kallikantzaroi are goblins who stay underground during the rest of the year. But during Advent, they come out and cause mischief on humans. They are sometimes described as black furry creatures with tusks and horns. They mainly come out at night. They are usually male and very well endowed. They enter houses any way they can. When they get inside the house, they cause havoc. Due to their mischievous nature, the Kallikantzaroi are considered impish and not very intelligent. Next, you have Pere Fouettard, whom is popular in France, Belgium, and Switzerland. Pere Fouettard was initially a butcher. He found 3 little boys who were lost in the woods. He did the unthinkable to these poor boys, and then put them into barrels of salt to preserve them. But Saint Nick discovered the crime and brought the individuals back to life. As punishment, Saint Nick forced Pere Fouettard into bondage. The butcher then started to travel with Saint Nick. It was at that point he became known as Pere Fouettard, which means the Father Whipper. Now it is time for the legend of Saint Nicolas, the real Santa Claus. The legend of Santa Claus can be traced to around 280 AD in Pere. This is close to modern-day Turkey. It is believed that Saint Nicolas was a well-respected saint who was known for his kindness and piety. It's said that he gave away all of his inherited money to help the poor, which led to many legends about him. One of the most famous Saint Nicholas stories is the time when he saved 3 poor girls from being sold into slavery by their father. He did this by providing them each with a dowry so that they could then get married. Thank you so much for taking time to watch the video. Please consider subscribing so we can continue to bring you unique content.